The first time I stepped onto an alien world, I expected danger. I expected strange creatures, advanced technology, and maybe even hostility. What I didn't expect was an alien queen pointing directly at me in a room filled with diplomats and declaring that I would stand beside her daughter. And judging by the stunned silence that followed, I had just become the most controversial human in the galaxy. 1. The diplomatic disaster. My name is Daniel Carter, a logistics officer for the United Terran Coalition. I wasn't a soldier, a hero, or even particularly important. My job was simple: organize cargo shipments and make sure supplies reached the right colonies. That was it. But somehow, I ended up on the most important diplomatic mission in human history. The planet Valtherus shimmered beneath our shuttle as we descended through glowing blue clouds. Massive crystalline towers rose from the surface, reflecting sunlight like mirrors. The entire planet looked like it had been carved from gemstones. "This place looks expensive," I muttered. Across from me, Ambassador Lila Renshaw adjusted her formal uniform. "Behave yourself, Carter," she said calmly. "Today decides whether humanity becomes a member of the Galactic Alliance." No pressure. For decades, humanity had been the newest and weakest civilization in known space. Other species had faster ships, stronger armies, and technologies centuries beyond ours. We had one advantage, though: persistence. Humans were annoyingly good at surviving things that should kill them. Apparently, the Alliance had noticed. Still, they didn't fully trust us. That's why today's meeting with the ruling species of Valtherus, the Velarin, was so important. And somehow I had been assigned as part of the escort team, which meant I got to stand quietly in the background and try not to embarrass Earth. That should have been easy. Should have been. 2. The Velarin Court. The palace of the Velarin made every human building look primitive. Giant archways curved like flowing water, glowing softly with violet light. The floor beneath our feet was smooth crystal, reflecting our faces like a mirror. Then the Velarin entered. They were breathtaking. Tall, elegant beings with silver skin and luminous eyes. Their hair shimmered like threads of light, shifting colors as they moved. Every step they took looked graceful, almost regal. And at the center of them all walked their ruler, Queen Alindra. She wore a crown that floated just above her head, a ring of glowing crystal shards that slowly rotated in silent orbit. Her gaze swept across the room, calm and powerful. When she spoke, her voice echoed through the chamber like music. "Welcome, representatives of Earth." Ambassador Renshaw bowed respectfully. "We thank you for granting humanity this audience, Your Majesty." The Queen studied the human delegation carefully. It felt like being examined by a supercomputer. Finally, she spoke again. "Your species is unusual." That sounded ominous. The Queen continued. "You are fragile. Your lifespans are short. Your technology is primitive." Well, she wasn't wrong. But, she added, "your history shows remarkable resilience." The room grew quiet. Our observers witnessed your soldiers fighting despite impossible odds. Your explorers colonizing worlds others deemed uninhabitable. She paused. You endure. For the first time, her glowing eyes softened slightly. That trait is admirable. I noticed several alien delegates whispering among themselves. Apparently, admiration from the Velarin was rare. The meeting continued peacefully for nearly an hour. Trade agreements, scientific exchange, alliance membership requirements. Everything seemed to be going smoothly. Then everything changed. 3. The attack. It started with a sound. A sharp metallic crack echoed through the palace. Then alarms exploded across the chamber. Red lights flashed. The crystal walls trembled violently. Intruders detected, an automated voice announced. The massive palace doors suddenly burst open. Armored figures stormed inside. They weren't Velarin. They were something far worse. The Karak Dominion, a brutal warrior species infamous for conquering entire star systems. Their leader stepped forward, a towering creature with jagged armor and burning red eyes. "Well," he growled, his translator buzzing. "Looks like we arrived during something important." Panic spread through the chamber. Diplomats scrambled for cover. Velarin guards raised their energy weapons. The Karak commander laughed. "You really thought the Dominion would allow your precious alliance to grow stronger?" His soldiers aimed heavy plasma rifles at the Velarin royal family. Queen Alindra remained calm. "Leave this world," she said quietly. The Karak commander smirked.
"No."
Then he pulled the trigger. For the moment, everything changed. The shot was aimed directly at the queen's daughter, Princess Liara. I don't remember deciding to move. My body just reacted. Humans do that sometimes. Before anyone else could act, I dove forward. The plasma bolt slammed into the energy shield generator on my combat vest, knocking me backward across the floor. Pain exploded through my ribs. But the shot didn't reach the princess. The room froze. The Karak commander blinked. Did that human just intercept my shot? I groaned, pushing myself up. "Yeah," I muttered. "Kinda rude to shoot people during meetings." The Karak soldiers stared at me like I was insane. Maybe I was. Their commander raised his weapon again. "Fine," he snarled. "I'll kill you first." He fired. I rolled behind a pillar just as the plasma bolt scorched the floor where I'd been standing. Velarin guards finally reacted, returning fire. The chamber erupted into chaos. Energy blasts shattered crystal walls. Aliens scattered everywhere. But the Karak warriors were heavily armored and outnumbered the guards. They were winning, which meant someone needed to stall them. Unfortunately, that someone was standing closest.
Me.
I grabbed a fallen Velarin weapon and leaned around the pillar. "All right," I muttered. Then I started shooting. 5. Humans do the impossible. I wasn't a trained soldier, but humans grow up in dangerous places. We learn to adapt quickly. The Velarin weapon felt strange in my hands, but the trigger worked the same way as any rifle. I fired 3 quick shots. 2 missed. 1 hit a Karak warrior square in the chest. He barely staggered, but it slowed him down. Behind me, I heard Princess Liara speak for the first time. "Human, you are injured." "Yeah," I said. "Working on it." Another explosion rocked the room. A group of Karak soldiers began advancing toward the royal family. If they reached the queen, this war would be over before it even started. I glanced at the princess. She looked calm despite the chaos. Strangely calm. "Got any secret royal superpowers?" I asked. She shook her head. "Then I guess it's up to me." I stood up and ran straight toward the enemy, which, in hindsight, was probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. But it worked. The Karak soldiers were so shocked that a human charged them head-on that they hesitated. That hesitation saved everyone. Velarin guards rallied and flanked the invaders. Within minutes, the Karak commander realized the attack had failed. He snarled at me. "This isn't over, human." Then the surviving invaders retreated through the shattered doors. Silence fell over the ruined chamber, and every alien in the room was staring at me. 6. The Queen's Decision medical drones surrounded me as I sat on the floor catching my breath. Apparently, I had 3 cracked ribs and mild plasma burns. Could have been worse. Queen Alindra approached slowly. Her glowing eyes studied me carefully. "You placed yourself between death and my daughter." "Seemed like the right thing to do," I shrugged. The queen looked at Princess Liara. "Did you ask for his protection?" The princess shook her head. "No, mother." Queen Alindra turned back to me. "Why?" I blinked. Why what? Why risk your life for someone you do not know? I thought about it. Then I answered honestly. Because someone had to. The chamber went silent again. The queen raised her hand. Then she pointed directly at me. This human, she declared. You will stand beside my daughter. My brain stopped working. What? The queen's voice echoed through the chamber. The Carrick Dominion will not stop after today. They will come again. She looked at the gathered diplomats. And if they strike, my daughter will one day inherit this throne. Her glowing gaze returned to me. Humans possess a rare trait, loyalty without calculation. The queen lowered her hand. My daughter will need such a protector. The princess stepped forward. Her luminous eyes studied me with curiosity. You saved my life, Daniel Carter. She extended her hand. Stand beside me. The room erupted with shocked whispers. A human standing beside the future ruler of the Valoran? It was unthinkable, but the queen had already made her decision. 7. A new role in the galaxy. A week later, I stood on the balcony of the Valoran Palace overlooking the shining city. My ribs still hurt. My life had become very strange. Princess Liara joined me, her glowing hair drifting in the breeze. Are you regretting your decision? She asked. I didn't make a decision, I said. Your mom did. She smiled slightly. That is true. Below us, Valoran citizens moved through the city like flowing silver light. I looked at her. So, what exactly does standing beside you mean? Liara thought for a moment. It means you will advise me about humanity. Dangerous idea. And, she added, you will help me understand courage. I laughed. You've got an entire warrior civilization for that. She shook her head. No, her eyes met mine. They fight because they are strong. Then she gestured toward the stars. Humans fight even when they are weak. She paused. That is something the galaxy does not understand yet. I leaned on the balcony railing. Give it time, I said. In the distance, a fleet of Valoran ships launched into orbit, preparing for the next attack. Liara followed my gaze. The Carrick Dominion will return. Probably, I said. She looked at me again. Will humans stand with us? I smiled. Princess, you've clearly never met humanity. I extended my hand. When someone threatens our friends, we don't back down. She took my hand. And for the first time in galactic history, a human stood beside the future queen of an alien empire, not as a servant, not as a soldier, but as an equal. And somewhere out in the darkness of space, the Carrick Dominion was preparing for war. They thought humans were weak. They were about to learn just how wrong they were.